So we go ahead and we import pandas as PD. Yet again, this is just a standard of how pandas is mostly imported, just like how we import NumPy as NP, we import pandas as PD to make their code much easier to read on the long run. And we can check the version, just like we did with NumPy, where we see that the current version running, at least on my local machine, is 1.1.2, which is the latest version, by the way. Now, when you're working with tabular data, pandas allows you to explore, clean, process the data. And it represents the data in what we call a data frame. Now, the contents of a data frame can be thought to be the same thing as the contents of a worksheet, whereas it has particular identifiers for the columns, such as the column names. Unlike in Excel, it doesn't give you some generic column name. It actually holds the particular column name of which you have defined for the data or that is defined within the data, as well as an index that yet again might be auto-generated just like what you see here in Excel, or an index that you have specified. So an example of these two occurrences are, in terms of the index, is a situation where you just create a data frame, but you don't specify what you want your index is. What Excel will do is it will auto-generate a number count from 0 to the number of records that you have, the number of rows that you have in your data, and set that to be sort of like the generic index. It's still the index and it still does all the functions of an index, but it's sort of generic because it was auto-generated by pandas. Now, in another scenario where you have a piece of data that you want to specify exactly what you want to be your index, now the index column will come from one of your columns within the data. So for the aforementioned time series data, in this case, because the data is highly dependent and fixated on timestamps, so probably a column holding time and date would be your index in that case, naturally. Yet again, we're going to see more of this in actual practice, so kindly bear with me. So the index essentially is used to uniquely identify each particular row in your data frame, while the column is used to identify every vertical representation or every vertical value within your data frame.